Like, I literally almost died. You know, growing up, I was like a healthy kid. I only got sick like once a year. You know, I really didn't eat, like, I wasn't a kid that liked candy. Like, I just didn't like hard food. I just didn't really like any fried food. Like, I didn't even grow up like with soul food. You know, I remember like my grandma in New York would cook a lot of soul food. You know, the only thing I liked was fried chicken and macaroni and cheese. Like today, I can't even eat fried chicken because I had to stop eating meat for a year, and then chicken is nasty to me. Like, I just can't even eat it, and I'm like, oh. Where I grew up in the North Bay, it's like all my friends were Mexican, or Puerto Rican. I'm Puerto Rican and Cuban, so I like Puerto Rican food and Mexican food. So I kind of grew up with, you know, their parents always cooking, inviting me over. My favorite food was huevos con chorizo, and that's like eggs with like meat, you know, with a tortilla, some sour cream. But that was like my go-to. Besides like a steak burrito, ooh, I just love me some sour cream, guacamole, and hot sauce. Like, you have to put that on there. So the funny thing is though, when I moved to SoCal, just like side note, burritos in North Bay are like way better for some reason. Like, way better. I'm like not opposed to eating any burritos out here. I have had one. It's called a Cali burrito. But who the fuck puts fries in a burrito? Like, I just never understood that concept. But it's called a Cali burrito. See, for me, and then everything else is on the side. Like, it doesn't come with anything extra. I'm used to a burrito having the meat, the rice, the beans, the salsa, the sour cream, the guacamole. Like, I call that the works, like a super burrito. Out here, they don't do that. It's like you gotta add all that in there. I'm like, what? But just so you guys know, my favorite food is, I like shrimp burritos now. My favorite food is sushi. Anything like seafood. Like, I like lobster, shrimp, crab. I don't like anything fried. For me, having anything fried is just, I don't like it. I don't know. I think it's a texture thing, or I don't know. I think it just takes away from the actual food itself. Besides pizza and In-N-Out, but we're not gonna go there. I didn't really like even like soda, but if I did have soda, it was like orange soda, pineapple soda, ginger ale. I was really like a juice girl. Like, I grew up watching the Huxtables, so they always said, you know, your family's rich if you have cranberry juice and grape juice, right? So my mom would always buy that. So me and my family had a thing where they were like on a bowling league. It would just be a thing for me and all their friends and everybody every Saturday to go bowling in Roanoke Park. Like, we were serious. Like, I had my own ball with my name on it. We all had our shoes, our bags. Like, we were literally like decked out. It was like so fun. It was like the thing to do. It was a good night. And I remember I ate like 3 meals that day. I was fine all day. I don't remember anything really crazy happening. So after the bowling session, we decided to go to, you know, one of my dad's friend's house. So we went over there. You know, they're like, oh, we're gonna play pool, you know, get ripped. So it was like party time. I made a drink. I made a tequila drink. Oh no, it was vodka drink with tequila shots. So I made a few drinks for everybody and a few shots. When I did that, I remember being in the kitchen. I remember looking at the fridge and all their pictures of their kids, and, you know, talking to the girlfriend, and, you know, just, you know, having a good old time and sipping my drink. I think I got like halfway through. I played pool and everything, you know. My dad taught me how to play pool pretty good. You know, I got a nice little back shot. I feel like I was gonna throw up. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? So I run to the bathroom and thinking I'm gonna throw up, and I didn't even throw up. And I literally sat in front of the mirror just staring at it for like 10 minutes, like trying to get that feeling to go away. I come back in and I'm like, oh my god, I got this feeling. I was like, I'm gonna sit down. So I sat on the couch, talked to, you know, this girl. It was like his girlfriend or something, I think. And talking about her kids. I was trying to chill. It was kind of like, I didn't want people to think I was fucked up, I guess. So it was like an embarrassing feeling. But I didn't feel drunk. I told my mom, like, Mom, can you sit on the couch? She was like, yeah, what's up? Are you okay? And I was like, no, I'm not. I was like, like my stomach hurts. She's like, you drunk? I'm like, no. She's like, you're drunk. She's like, Ralphie, I'm gonna take her home. And I'm like, oh God, whatever. Anything to get in the car, because I just didn't feel good. So my parents had like a big ass Escalade. So I sat in the back seat, and then I was like, oh, I can't sit up. So I like literally like just laid down all the way until we got home. And my mom like put her arm around me and like walked me to the door, walked me up the stairs. She tucked me in, and then she's like, do you need anything, you know? And I was like, yeah, can you give me some NyQuil or some Benadryl or just anything. I just wanted to like go to sleep. I'm like laying there. I just remember laying there like tossing and turning. Like the hallway light was on because I always needed a night light. And I just remember looking at the hallway light, and like I just kept holding my stomach. And I'm like, what is wrong with me? 4 hours go by, 5 hours, 6 hours. And I'm just like, Mom, call 911. She's like, what? Are you okay? I'm like, no, call 911. I literally seen my life in a film strip. Just like, it was like everything that I ever gone through, like a memory film strip. It was the weirdest moment. And my eyes were just rolling in the back of my head, and I was just like screaming, like I was yelling. Like I couldn't shut up. Like it hurt so bad. Like I never want anybody to ever go through that pain, and if you have, you know what the hell I'm talking about. It's like an unexplainable, excruciating, it's like somebody's like literally ripping your insides out, if that's what it feels like. I don't know. But I don't remember anything after that until I got in the ambulance. And I seen the stretcher. It was like more of like a cloth stretcher. And as soon as they put me in it, I think they like bundled me up. And that was it. I woke up in the ambulance and I was like trying to talk to the guy. Like, ah. That's all I remember is just seeing like all this like, you know, medical shit. And next thing you know, I'm like in the hospital. I don't remember anything, if they asked me anything. I just remember seeing two people, a guy here and a girl there, and saying, we just gave you some, I think morphine or something. So you're gonna go night-night. And I'm like, okay. Like, you know, next thing you know, like, I don't even know how long, but I wake up and I was just like, where am I at? Like, I didn't know where I was. I was like, what's going on? And I just see my mom and my dad just sitting there, and they're like, oh, you just came out of emergency surgery. I said, what? What happened to me? What's wrong with me? Am I gonna die? I just kept asking, am I gonna die? If I'm gonna die, can you just kill me now? I was like, I don't want to feel any pain. Like, they're like, no, you're not gonna die. And then I started being really loopy. I started getting really loopy. I think I was flirting with the doctors. Like, it was pretty hilarious. That's all I remember is just flirting with the doctors. Like, I like your eyes. Oh, you have long eyelashes. Like, I was just really like it was so funny. And then he said that I had an ovarian cyst that ruptured, and if I would have spent probably another hour at home, I would have died. So pretty much what they were telling me is like it was so big that it ruptured, and they had to go and do emergency surgery on me. So literally I have 2 scars, and then right under my belly, can't even wear belly rings anymore. I mean, I can now, but it was like bulging out, like sticking out like a huge keloid, but now it's flat. And he said that, you know, I was internally bleeding, which is very life-threatening. And they said normally, like when you get admitted to the hospital, within 6 hours, like you die. And I'm pretty sure, I think this was like, what, 3 in the morning or 4 in the morning? Like I was in the hospital for hours, so I don't even know how long it took, but I guess not that long to where I would die. But yeah, so now I have those scars for life. What happens is like, it's like a large ass cyst. It's like an egg that, it goes into a sac and it matures. I think it's called like a follicle or some shit like that. I don't know. But anyway, so what happens is when it's in that follicle, it wants to like break open. So the egg wants to break open, so it releases the egg, but then the follicle still keeps growing. I was so drugged out. I got a tattoo. I drew a tattoo to cover it on one side. The other side I haven't got covered yet, but the other side is like gone, and then one other incision is like still pokes out. So anytime I like would gain weight, I would know I was gaining weight because it feels like my skin was stretching. And then I was always insecure, you know, like getting intimate with anybody. Like I would want to hide my belly. No more short tank tops, no more 2 pieces. Like I was just didn't want anyone to see my scar. I hated it, like literally. Now I'm like over it, but oh my god, it was like so embarrassing. And then come to find out, like telling people about it, like as years go by, like a lot of people had them, but I guess because of the melanin in my skin, it became like a dark keloid. Everyone else is like their fucking incisions were gone. I'm like, damn, lucky, because they didn't have melanin. I called my doctor, you know, for a checkup. You know, they want to check on you and stuff like that. So I was like, can I have kids? So I went to the OBGYN. You know, I got all checked out. I was so scared. She's like, oh, you're fertile Myrtle. You're super fertile. Like, everything looks good in there. I was like, oh, thank God. I was like, so will it affect it or anything? She was like, no. And then I was like, how can I, like, prevent this? And then she told me, oh, like, when you're ovulating, you can't prevent it. So I was like, well, that sucks. She's like, the only thing that we can actually give you is birth control to where it happens less. So I was like, fuck that. I don't want birth control. I was like, I wasn't having sex with guys at the time. So I was like, I don't need birth control. And then it happened 2 more times. I think this was like the next year it happened, and then it happened like or 2 after that. And I was like, fuck, dude. But I didn't have to have surgery. It was just like, it wasn't that same excruciating pain, but it was super painful to where I knew my body felt like something was going on. So they just said sometimes you'll get a cyst, but it'll like rupture on its own if it's really small, you know? It's just like painful. So you know, I'm up in the hospital like like clicking the morphine, and then I would just be laying there until it just goes away, I guess. But the last time that I went, because it was like 2 years out, you know, they couldn't find anything wrong with me. They just want to like give me drugs and tell me to leave. It was like the worst experience ever. I had to beg for them to scan my body. I'm like, can you give me iodine and scan my body? That's what they did last time. That's the only way they were able to find it. 6 hours later, here they go. Like, I could have died, you know, and like finally they put the iodine in my body, put me in the scanner. Sure enough, you know, oh, you do have a cyst. Like, you motherfucker, I'm telling you how to do your job. Like, really? Just to know, he said, if I laid in my bed an hour, for an extra hour, I would have died because all the internal bleeding. Like, I had my body was filled with so much blood, and normally, you know, your body's filled with 60% water, and certain organs have like, you know, certain percentages of water as well. So I'm still here, I'm alive and I'm kicking. I haven't had one since, and if I did, I didn't know, like, you know, no pain or anything, but hopefully I don't have any more. But if you guys ever feel something odd about your body, I just want to tell you, go get checked out. And don't use WebMD to diagnose yourself. I know it's kind of hard right now during COVID. That's the only thing that sucks. Like, I want to try and prevent from going to the hospital, period. I don't want nobody giving me no COVID test. I don't want no motherfucking vaccine. I don't believe in that shit. So don't give me no flu shot. I don't want none of that shit. So I'm just scared that, you know, like they're gonna make me do any of that kind of stuff. So I'm trying to make sure, you know, that I eat right, you know, drink lots of water, you know, just really take care of my body. Your body's your temple. It's like, you know, just make sure you take care of yourself, guys. Like, just really make sure you take care of yourself, because man, having that surgery was definitely life-changing.